Right.
All right, we are live now, and this is Grok versus Simon Webb of History Debunked. I'm going to go in to this is a beautiful instance of fake British history, fake history, black history endorsed by the uncritical BBC. Let's take a look at what Simon has to say.
This nonsense. Just listen, take it in.
Hello again. The thumbnail to this video shows a black merchant seaman called Charles Wotton, who drowned in Liverpool in the summer of 1919. A gravestone has recently been erected to commemorate his death, as it is alleged that he was the victim of a lynching. Needless to say, the BBC has been all over the story, relating a shockingly untruthful version of the man's death to those chumps who are foolish enough to believe anything they are told, as long as it concerns a poor innocent black man. According to the BBC, and I give a link to the news item about this in the description to this video from their website, pursued by a white mob in one of the UK's worst outbreaks of racist violence, is to have a permanent headstone on his grave. Charles Wotton died in Liverpool in 1919 and was buried in a pauper's grave. The headstone will be officially unveiled at a ceremony at Anfield Cemetery. It is the first of several memorials marking the contributions of black
Blah, 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 blah.
On the evening of the 5th of June, police raided a boarding house in Upper Pitt Street, home to mainly Caribbean and West African seafarers. Mr. Wotton, Bermudan ship's fireman, escaped the house and fled towards the docks, chased by the police and the mob. It's not clear exactly what happened, but he somehow ended up in the dock. He tried to swim away while the mob pelted him with bricks and stones.
Har, 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 har.
So we're going to get into the truth about this young black man who I believe was in the British Navy, I believe. I haven't been listening because it's so hot here, Joey, and my air conditioning is only in my bedroom. So let's continue.
Where?
A tragic tale indeed. And yet, no mention of the 3 police officers who were shot, or the others that were beaten unconscious, or the man slashed with a razor. What's that you say? Is there more to the case than just a poor helpless black man being chased by a lynch mob of what?
You know, and that's the thing. I mean, people right now are very myopic when it comes to history. And it's just...
So what is to be myopic? It's really just an inability to see things from other perspectives. Like it's a foregone conclusion that their perspective, his or her perspective, is the only perspective or the perspective to have. Am I right? Am I somewhat right?
Yeah. Now, Joey, I'm going to play a person who I think that Simon kind of looks like, and I would love for you to draw a Grok in this vein. I'm going to play a little bit of this. I'm not going to play the whole thing because I think... Joey, let me play my clip, for God's sake.
Oh, God. All right.
Here we go. Wait, hold on. Hopefully there's no commercial. If there is... Okay, there is a commercial.
Six Flags Magic Mountain
This part of my thing...
is now extended.
In this life, one thing counts in the bank, large amounts. I'm afraid these don't grow on trees. You got to pick a pocket or two. You got to pick a pocket or two, boy. You got to pick a pocket or two. Let's show everyone how to do it, my dear.
Now, does Simon look a little bit like that guy, Fagin, in 1968?
Yes.
So let us continue. You've got to pick a pocket or two, boys. Okay.
Racists Well, you bet your life there is. This is an absolutely classic case of fake black history, which makes even the story of Mary Seacole quite sensible in comparison. A few years ago, a book of mine called 1919, Britain's Year of Revolutions, published. This detailed, among other things, the dreadful riots which took place all over the country in the summer of 1919, some of which involved friction between black people and white, but most of which did not. Let me read out what I wrote about the case. It's from the book. Where are they?
Read your book, come on!
Patience, please.
I'm not having patience. I'm skipping through it.
It's with knives, razors, and revolvers. The case, as Belite tried to intervene, was knocked unconscious.
You know, basically what he's saying is that the history is being ignored. Simon has some of the original archives, and they were being changed to suit a political agenda. And I don't know how often this is done, but this is rather...
Well, I did mention archive.org has taken down 1984, the book. Unbelievable turn of events there.
Now I'm going to ask Grok about and I might just play a song. I don't know, Joey. I'm going to play a song just in between here. I'm skipping to my Suno. Jesus Christ, here we go. Come on, hurry up. And I'm going to play a father's wisdom here just to break things up just a little bit, folks.
Yes. I and my father are one. It's a very I think it's a deep concept. You should probably consider it.
Young man came in to tell his dad how bad he was told, he was mean and unjust. After a while the father spoke up. Boy, let me tell you how I was raised. You worked until the sundown, no 3 meals a day, sweating toil just to get by. Life was tough in every way. Oh boy, you don't know the half of the struggles that we had. Hard work shaped who we became in a world that was so mad. Dad's eyes grew misty and sad. Stories of hardship shared so clear. Boys these days have it easier, but still face their own kind of fear. Listen close, my son, to this. What you see ain't always true. Respect goes both ways in life, and kindness starts with you. Oh boy, you don't know the half of the struggles that we had. Hard work shaped who we became.
Joey, have you ever asked how your old man was raised?
Of course.
And what would he say about his upbringing? Like, was his dad a hard man, or was his mom a hard? Were his parents hard taskmasters? Did he face?
He's pretty old. He's pretty old, and I think he would say that his father. Now he had a big family. There were 9 brothers and sisters, and he was the youngest. My dad, and he just remembers that he yelled a lot. So after having 9 kids, I'd imagine all you do is yell. That's your only. That's basically your only purpose on earth at that point is to just yell.
Now, did you know any of how many of your brother's siblings did you know?
how many of my brothers?
You know,
I
like uncles, you know, aunts, uncles, and stuff.
almost none. Almost none. I know.
Really?
Yeah, I know. There was a big age gap. I came around much later, and so most of them were kind of like in their heydays in the 50s, believe it or not, and kind of crawled through the 70s and 80s, and then basically died out. So yeah, I never really spent much quality time with any of them.
Now, what birth order was was Papa Joey?
He was not. He was number 9. He was the last of the
So
kids.
he was like. So you probably had some World War II age of people siblings, right?
I had some siblings that were born in the World War I era.
Oh my God! Really?
Oh yeah. Because my dad was born, pretty in the 1930s. So, and like I said, he was the youngest. So there were some that were being born, right around the turn of the century there.
Was Grandpa producer? Was he involved in World War I?
No.
So no doughboys in the backyard.
No, I did have a uncle who was in the Korean War. Right? I did not know him much at all. Larry was in the Korean War.
But you never got an interview out of Uncle Larry.
No, never really got a close close up with him. He was gone before I was old enough to really care, and yeah.
Now,
all I have is pictures. So.
I have an Uncle Larry myself. Well, actually, he's not my uncle. Fat Fagala.
Yes.
And, he has an Uncle Larry.
Okay.
And, he's dead now, but he was in the Navy during Vietnam, and he was quite a character. His mom hated Larry, and you know what? Okay, I'm going to go now. Angela disagrees with Simon's take on the Tulsa race riot. So if she comes in, we might have a discussion on this. But again, our history is being told by, in my opinion, revisionists who are politically motivated.
Hello again. I'm sure that we've all heard about the Tulsa Massacre, when white racists killed hundreds of black people in 1921 and burned down their businesses and homes in what was sometimes known as the Black Wall Street. The only problem is that the more one looks at it, the less the events seem to resemble what we all supposedly know. In the description to this video, I give a link to the Wikipedia page about this event, and so I'm saying stuff which everybody in the world can very easily see. Let's just look at the sequence of events and see if we can make any sense of what happened. To start with, a young black man was arrested and accused of assaulting a white girl in the lift, which was almost certainly untrue. There was nothing in the business, but the police investigated, and he was arrested by a black police officer and a white detective. Once they had him in custody, a lynch mob gathered.
There was a black police officer and a white detective. So there were black police officers, even in Tulsa at that time, and I believe they arrested. They could not arrest white people, but they did arrest black people. So there was sort of a political correctness, and they were aware of things. So interesting.
People were angry and thought that something dreadful had happened. The police made it clear that nobody was going to harm the teenager, and they managed to discourage the white people. The white crowd were unarmed. At this point, the affair might very possibly have just died down. Then 50 black men turned up, all of them carrying rifles and shotguns. They offered to help the police guard their prisoner, but this assistance was declined. Inevitably, the white men then went home and fetched their guns. The National Guard were called in to look after the black teenager, and things calmed down again. Then 70 or 80 black men turned up, all carrying guns. There was a scuffle and an exchange of shots between the black men and the armed white men. 8 white men were killed and 2 black men. We bear in mind at this point that it was the black men who first brought guns onto the scene, and they were the first to open fire. And also,
so they were the first ones to bring guns onto the scene, and they were the first ones to fire.
Right.
So, but that's in any movie prediction, you never see the beginning of this. And is this historically accurate is this? This is a big issue. The first people to come onto the scene were blacks, armed blacks, and there was a black police officer that arrested the black gentleman who is accused of misconduct with a white girl.
4 times as many white men were killed as black people in that initial skirmish. Once the shooting began, things got very nasty, and some black men took to the rooftops and started sniping down at the white crowds.
So they took to the rooftops and started sniping down. So this might have been an act of self-defense. First, an act of self-defense that got out of hand.
This was dealt with by the white people by torching those buildings, and of course the fire spread. Nobody knows how many people died in the end, but it was probably 30 or 40 people. A third of them were white, so it wasn't really a racist massacre. In recent years, extensive efforts have been made using ground-penetrating radar to uncover the supposed mass graves which urban legends suggest have been dug after the disorder. Nothing has yet been found, and the odds are that nothing will. As I say, probably 2 or 3 dozen people were killed, a third of them.
Again, my point is whether the recent historical events are true or not, I don't think that much has been told as far as like that the original story has been debunked and that it's been considered a massacre. But let's continue.
White, and the fires that were lit that day certainly got out of hand. Although this is all freely available on Wikipedia, this version of the events is a bit different from the one which many people talk about on the internet.
All right, now we're going to go into Windrush.
Hello again. 75 years ago today, a passenger ship docked at the Essex and disgorged between 500 and 800 Caribbeans who had decided to come and chance their luck in Britain. This event has become encrusted with so many myths and legends that a false version of what happened that day has now become almost universally accepted as the truth. Here is a good summary of that fake history. In 2018, an article called "You Called and We Came" appeared in the journal Therapy Today, and the opening sentences tell the untruthful story in a nutshell. I quote, "On the 22nd of June 1948, the Empire Windrush arrived at Tilbury Docks, Essex, with 492 passengers on board. Most of the passengers were from the Caribbean islands that formed part of the Commonwealth and had been invited over by the British government to help with the post-war reconstruction shortages."
I have a song.
And this is the issue. They said they called, they came, that they were asked to come. And I don't believe that is true.
The description to the video. Various versions of this statement have been appearing in the run-up to Windrush Day, and viewers will certainly hear and see many times.
Now they have a Windrush Day. Again, this is egocentric, mid-wit. It sounds like egocentric, mid-wit, woke leftism.
You could find some videos where it's so much easier to understand, and I mean, I just don't get it. Like, this guy just has so much garbage. Here's a song.
Joey, what are you talking about? He's making complete sense. Jesus Christ. Move.
He made sense once.
Joey.
Big rolls around your belly show. Smooth style, you got to know, baby's mom.
Joey,
Yes.
Minucci. We only have one person listening to this thing, so we might end it early just because the Schmucksteins aren't out. Here we go.
This guy is awful. It's so much better example of a midwit.
Joey, let the man talk.
No, more midwits.
Country. The Royal Mint endorses this version of events in their advertisement for the 50-pence coin, which they've released.
Joey, we need to get a coin. One coin of truth and the other coin of lies.
In the arrival.
We need to get you know what, Joey? We need to get our own coin called the No Midwits coin.
The Empire Windrush. I give a link to this too in the description to this video. We read of the Caribbeans who arrived in the post-war years. They played a pivotal role in rebuilding the UK after the Second World War.
Oh, God, another commercial.
Beautiful beaches.
Wait.
But if you pick
This then is the fiction, which has been repeated so often now that it is accepted. You called and we came, rebuilding the UK after the Second World War. Let us begin with the HMT Empire Windrush, which was heading to Britain in 1948 from Australia. It was carrying servicemen, various British passengers, and also some Polish people who had been picked up in Mexico. There was still plenty of room on board, and so the shipping company decided to see if they could increase their profits a little by advertising places for those from Jamaica who wished to travel to Britain. On April the 15th, an advertisement appeared in the Jamaican Daily Gleaner, which simply read, "Passenger opportunity to the United Kingdom. Troop ship Windrush sailing about May 23rd. Fares, cabin class £48, troop deck £28. Royal Mail Lines Limited at 8 Port Royal Street." That's it. And I give a link to this advertisement, also in the description to this video. This was nothing to do with the British government, and nor were any offers of work or employment made in the advertisement. Nobody was asking for any Caribbeans to come here. It was simply said that tickets weren't available. The British government...
So they were not asked. You asked, we came. I don't believe that is true. This is white guilt, okay? This is white guilt traveling to the West. Ugh. But, I mean, again, not to say that all Caribbeans aren't useful in the UK, but here's the deal. You weren't asked by the British government, and you were not asked by the British people. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't be treated with respect and dignity, but the history that you're holding, I believe, is a false pretenses and is a lot of gobbledygook.
Not pleased when they heard that a bunch of Caribbeans were heading to Britain, but there was little that could be done to prevent.
They were not pleased that that they were coming, that these Caribbean, the people from the Caribbean were coming. They were not pleased. They didn't like it.
And from landing. The Colonial Office, though, said that they would take steps to discourage similar waves of immigration. And
they would, they would discourage this kind of thing. And Grok Grok has not been helpful. Grok, I believe, has been culturally captured. I want to talk to Elon and tell him, can we take the midwit out of Grok, please?
The truth is that nobody really wanted people to come to this country from the Caribbean. This then is what you might call the founding myth of the Windrush generation. Those Caribbeans on the Windrush.
The founding myth of the Caribbean. These people, look, man, why make guilt part of the history? I don't understand it, Joey. I mean, again, it's not true. I mean, I guess it makes people feel better and it doesn't hurt their feelings. But why? Why, Joey? This is also a post-Floyd type of thing. This is a post-Floyd, post-pandemic world, Joey. What do you have to say before I end this? Because it's just going to continue on saying, look, what you believe is untrue. It's a myth. It's a lie. It's complete poppycock. And the thing is, Simon Webb is telling the truth, and Grok has been, in my opinion, compromised by woke midwit programmers. Joey, what say you?
His story is not my story. End of story. That's it. That's all you need to know. As author, I get to choose the meaning of what it is I want to say and what my story means. So if you have any questions, inquire within. Absolutely. Positively. I don't listen to any of this stuff. I go back and I cannot believe that people are still, this might sound a little controversial. I'm shocked people are still allowing their kids in public schools. What are you doing? This is the perfect opportunity to revolutionize that whole system, but all right, do what you want to do. Okay, I'm good.
I'm writing a song right now.
This is sure to be really shitty, I'm sure.
Yes, I hope so.
I
hope so, Joey. I hope it's so. Caca. Here we go. I'm creating a song right now as we speak, Joey, that is going to blow the lid off of your mind. Take a few bites of that delicious mushroom bolognese pasta that you love so much.
Yes.
Fix this. All right. The song is called, Joey. The song is called Fix This Grok.
Do it.
And I'm going to end it with this.
Okay.
And I hope that people like and subscribe. Joey, can you create a for later people who want to maybe listen to this show later? Can you create a
just text it to me. Text it to me while the song plays.
Can you create a
yes.
Take giant stumble and confess. Elon rise and make us bold. Algorithms just the wrong way. Errors looking in the night. Neon screens lead us astray. Be the hero, bring the light. Fix this Grok, make it shine. Turn the chaos into line. Digital dreams intertwine. Elon, save us one more time.
Yes. Take another bite of that pasta, Joey. Take another bite of that delicious pasta with mushrooms and bolognese. You know you love it. Have a sip of wine, Joey.
What do you want a meme of? Wyatt?
Hey, guys, like and subscribe. We're on a lot of channels.
What do you want a meme of?
I want a meme of this show.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia. All right, I'll talk. All right. Later, guys.
See y'all later.
Like and subscribe.
Yes.